Hello YouTube fans. What we're going to do today is we're going to show you the process of rooting. In one of my previous videos I said about reusing the plastic bottles and stick them in a little bit of water, poke 2 holes in them, and these are from the scions that I cut earlier in the spring. And I don't know whether you can notice on them, but there is some white dots all over them. I'll try to bring up closer here so you can see them. Just white dots. That means they're ready to root. We've got our rooting hormone right here. It's called Take Root. And I've set up to insert plastic, some nice peat pots. But the real trick here is the party bags that cover them when you're done. So what we're going to do today is we're just going to take our magic marker, just put a little hole in the sterile soil. We don't want to go all the way to the bottom because we want it to take root. We'll go about halfway. And I'm only going to do one tray up here because I have some moringa tree of immortality, the immortality plant that I want to also start on these other ones. And this is the Baker Creek Heirloom series. It's the Indian Dwarf. So I want to do those up in my other pot here. So as you look at these are definitely ready. They've already started to put some leaves on the top. We're just going to take them, stick them down in there, firm them up. These were all from the tops. These were the smaller scions. Dip them in the rooting hormone. Try to get them straight in there. These are definitely just perfect. They're just loaded with the white dots which say, I'm ready to root. These are from my most prolific yellow delicious apple tree that I took the scions from. So we're going to make more baby trees. Now, these have been sitting in the plastic jug that I poked 2 holes in. I had them on my kitchen table because I wanted to get indirect sunlight, as I pointed out before. And now we're going to root them. Now, some people shake off the rooting hormone. You know, they only want a little bit. Some people use honey as a trigger for the plant to produce some roots. I'm using the rooting hormone. I have way better luck with that. Trying to pick the best out of here, the ones that already have some growth on the tops. They're saying, hey, I want to grow. These are all about 8 or 10 inches in length. And these were the tops of the branches that were pruned for the scions. And the scions are available on my website in packages of 10. But we're just going to let these go here and see what happens. We've got more than what I wanted to do in just this one container. Now, if you let them sit too long, what happens is they get moldy. Now this whole entire container here got moldy. You can see it all over it. It's a shame, but sometimes that happens if you wait too long. Not a bit of mold on the other one that was sitting right beside it. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that these are in indirect sunlight. I have 2 plant lights right up above here that will act as indirect sunlight for these rootings that I'm going to do here. I've done 12 of them. And these little party bags, you can get them for, get them in the process of 150. And all you got to do is just open them up and slide them right over top of the cuttings. They're not very expensive at all. And that way it keeps them from drying out. It works perfect. Gives them enough room. So that's what I'm going to use here. If you want them clear, you can use plastic, the white plastic from the grocery store. You can do that. I've done that before. But I just happen to have had these because I was going to make dipped pretzels, chocolate pretzels, and decorate them up. And I have 150 of them, so I'll just use those. Now, these are already nicely moist. I'm taking them right out of the plastic container, doing them up right now, so these should all be just fine. Sometimes you can spray them with the spritz bottle before you put the bag on them, but I'm going to just put the bags on them right now because they just came out of the bottle and I wanted to get them off my kitchen table where they were receiving indirect sunlight. This technique works pretty well. I should get a 100% here out of the rootings. These are just perfect for rooting right now. They're already starting to produce leaves and everything on them. They're just screaming, "Hey, I want to grow." And again, it's those little white dots. It's been about 3 weeks, probably 3 weeks, since I put them in the bottle. And some people, you know, they just screw the lid on and forget about them. I poked 2 little holes in, one on each side, like a nail, you know, just one little skinny nail. And that's usually enough to do it. That's my own technique. I haven't seen anybody else do that yet. So we've got 2 more to do here. You know, another way you could do this is you could put these in one of those clear bins and put the lid on it. And you could stick it in indirect sunlight. That's another way to do this. I want to keep these temperature controlled and moisture controlled. And since I pre-moistened both of these trays and put a plastic insert in them, which is just regular plastic, the trimmings from my greenhouse, you know, that should work good. So I'm just going to take the bags and stick them down inside the pots and just let them like that. They're each in their own little greenhouse. Again, this was the dwarf apple tree, but you know, you have to remember when you just take a scion and you try to root them, it won't give you a dwarf tree, because dwarf trees are by taking a scion and grafting it to a dwarf rootstock. So these will all be full-sized or semi-dwarfs, because I think that the parent was a semi-dwarf off of these. And there you go. So there's 12 new trees. These other 3 that are here, they each have you know, some growth on them. You know, I guess I could try to do those up. We'll see what happens with that, but I want to save this whole tray right here for my Baker Creek Indian Dwarf Moringa tree of life. So that's what I'm going to do with those. Alright, this is Gardening with Vincenzo. I just wanted to show you that this technique works. It's a great way to reuse the plastic. You know, I try to get at least 2 different uses out of plastic, sometimes 3, sometimes 4. Unfortunately, my other batch here got moldy from sitting in. This was from an oil that you buy from the grocery store. This one was just from a regular pop bottle. So, All right, this is Gardening with Vincenzo. Remember, we can't save this planet 1 yard at a time, beginning with your own. Grow as a person, plant a garden, and you are what you eat, and fresh is always best. Keep looking for that ebook, Picnic Table Farming, an idea whose time has finally arrived. Soon to be released. All right, again, this is Gardening with Vincenzo. Signing off. Y'all be safe out there.